Hello everybody and welcome back to Persona 3 Portable. Today... Wait. What did I just say? No, hang on. Hello everybody and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Today, we are, cross-examining Bikini. I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and... Iris was... No, Miss Elise. It was that sword of all things. Miss Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And to me, seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoes. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyways, this case is mine. Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Alright. So you finished your bath around 11. Tell me all about it. How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back to that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. Courtyard? You say you heard a noise? Thump! Just like that! That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know? You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump! Just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. I'm not doing your laugh. Oh ho! Cynic's when to laugh gets a whipping. I'm trying too hard for a German accent. I don't even know how to do one. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... Hold it. This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood! Her hood. That's right. It's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood, but you said she was last episode, did you not? No, because you were so sure. I almost combined sure and certain there. You were so certain in the last episode that she was wearing her hood. And now you're like, actually, no, she wasn't. I remember clearly. My memory is pristine. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Yes. Probably. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you need only to ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem. Okay, Iris didn't have her hood on, but you said earlier she did. You're sure about that? Yes, after all, we always wear the same clothes. I don't mean because we're poor, you understand. It's our style. Yes, that's it. You're poor, aren't you? There's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my whip. A whippet puppy? What's a whippet puppy? At least then it might bite you and not someone else. Iris didn't have her hood on. I am sure of it. Very well. Now, please tell us about the victims, eh? You're really Canadian all of a sudden. Staying in the corner room which faces out into the courtyard. The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room is on the second floor. No, Hazakura Temple is a single-story building, but the mountain itself slopes downwards, which elevates the main gate to the side which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a two-story building. I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room, after all. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to move on yet. It doesn't feel like she is lying. This is very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only two things I can believe in right now. My client, Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney. Even though I'm a prosecutor. So I have no skills. What makes you so sure of all this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. It appears the witness was not mistaken then. Yep, I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. There's only two of them working there. What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark? Doesn't feel like she's lying. Okay. Let me remind myself of the evidence, because I don't remember. Body fell from 10 feet. Oh, after death? No. Because it was after death. It said it had me add the hood as part of the testimony, so I wonder where that comes into play. I assume it comes into play anyways. But well, she's not wearing it here either. So is it? No, I guess she is. I guess she does have her hood. Okay, well, I think I might have to do that. I'm gonna save, though, because I don't want to lose my health and have to start all over. Objection! Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say, anyway. Oh, please do! My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? I've had it updated recently. The autopsy report. The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right. It says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Easy. Iris picked her up and threw her in the air. The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was thrown out of the window on her, wait, what? She was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below. I don't know why I'm struggling to read today. Objection! Were there any signs of a struggle in Mr. Nim's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whippages caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim that... I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. As I'm sure Your Honor is well aware, a venomous stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood, very little blood is actually lost at the moment of blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed. With the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. Perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to the conclusion then. The victim was thrown out the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. No? Well... I mean, yeah, it is a probable version. And I can't exactly argue against that theory. That's not it. What? How did she end up in that position? If Iris took the sword out. Oh no, she didn't. Oh no, she stabbed the sword into her. I'm calling her Iris. Whatever her real name is, Dahlia. This seems really staged. How would she get... I mean, I guess if she was thrown there, and then someone decided to just put the handle in? No, that wouldn't make sense either, because it looks like the sword has to slide in from underneath in order to go in there. Huh. I expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of a very vital point. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. What happened to you? Remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of... sorry, slipping my Francisco accent. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With a whip? Oh boy. Alright, alright. I feel like I've given her a different voice every episode because I just can't remember what I did for her. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Okay, thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Miss Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Miss Amy was... stabbing Miss Elise with the back. This is all confirmed with Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska. And I'm here to teach you just that. Further details. At that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? You didn't actually see her stabbed. Okay. Think carefully. This is very important. It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. How much are you worth, Bikini? I assume a lot. You're a nice young lady. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Miss Elise's body. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room, and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it, rather well, Miles Edgeworth. You just said it wasn't... You just said it wasn't bleeding. So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood. That's right! Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Her clothes are blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? Absolutely. Go big or go home. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. No, you didn't. You absolutely did not. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like came out. Witness, you will add the statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. Plunged into the hilt? I don't think it was that deep in, but... Smoothly, you say? You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out? That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Misakami. Misakami stood on the ground, and Iris stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Misakami's body. It slid out for like gaping wound. It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? That's... Yeah, no, there's no blood around the place, unless... I mean, unless Iris covered up the area with the snow. That's entirely possible, I guess. I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened. You mean the sword being removed? Or are you talking about, like, the picture of the sword in the statue's hand? Was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword? No mistake in it! I remember it all clear as day! Don't you think that's a bit odd? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? What? If all she wanted to do was place the weapon in the hand of the gold statue, then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished is causing the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Your thoughts, Mr. Von Karma? That's... Indeed. It is strange now that you mention it. I need to find an answer to this mystery, too. Anyway, the witness saw something terrible. So, what did you find? What did you do after that, witness? It's when you fainted. No, I can't blame you. Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct? Well, I was unconscious. How long were you out for? I don't know, 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with a very prickly-looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually. I'm not sure I like that method of resuscitation. Well, I wasn't asking for mouth-to-mouth or anything of the sort. But I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you. I shall have words with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening? The fire emblem, I assume. By Mystic Amy, are you referring to the golden statue, correct? Just stabbing someone with a Shichishito, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But to then make Mystic Amy hold a blade? Truly, a heinous, despicable crime. It's easy to despise something. Anyone can do it. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, what's the problem? Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that? No, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true, so true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself... there isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There were too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the Shichishito from the Amy statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I'll begin to find the truth. Alright, we'll look for the truth after I drop a save. I think I know what it is, though. So, you saw the instant in which the blade was drawn out. Now, I have a very hard time believing this. Cause she didn't bleed profusely. I don't know, now that I think about it, that might not be the case. I can try it. But the more I think about it, the less... likely it seems. Oh, wait, no. Oh yeah, the sword isn't full of blood. Objection. Sister Bikini, you're a reliable witness. At least, I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the hilt on the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please, explain explain yourself! To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No. No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail. But I can crush men under my heel and make them weep. So should I so choose? Please? The objection stands. I whipped a little back there, I must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. Also, it's not covered in blood up to the hilt. We also have a problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when the blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was already stabbed In reality, the victim was stabbed with a shichishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and it may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more. This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Oh, you want to answer that? If the witness is telling the truth, there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. Order! Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know can maybe manage one, if that. Hey, don't discount Phoenix. He could have made maybe 2 of those. But what does this all mean? You've heard contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is... the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichishito. What? A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy, foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think the sword was a murder weapon? Well... it's because Mr. Gamey was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shichishito was the murder weapon. Order! Wah! So maybe the Shichishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw into the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe, I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Vilton! I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible! What else? What else could this old woman have seen? She's not that old. Is she? "48? Oh, you're actually pretty old. 19? I forgot you were young. I saw them murdered around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. The tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon in the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape. What with my back at my age, you know? Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's the photograph. A snowmobile, huh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hasakura Temple, and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Okay. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Yeah. I don't know. You're sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. Wait, did you say 11 o'clock? Maybe it'll have to do with the lightning. I don't see how that's possible. I mean, I can see how it's possible, but not to shove it in your face just yet. Maybe you'll give me more information. Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hasakura Temple. Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister. You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. It seems she's the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix is right. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. But a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. Oh, for a spell. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it, that's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned at that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Let's press further. I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question. Was it still warm at that time? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, huh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means that it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Curses! It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to the Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? 5 minutes. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have I got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as it can be. I had fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch, just like that. Crunch. Crunch. I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Yeah, that's fair enough. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Refresh your memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere in between 10 and 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that it is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? All it would have been possible, time-wise. One element remains out of place here. Oh, what would this mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. The response, Miss Wankarma. Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's as over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. And the mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there's surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. So you saw the murder around 11. Yeah, I don't know about that. It probably has to do with this, because this is the only thing that has to do with time. Lightning struck her at 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. I guess it would stand to reason to say that because it was on fire, no one went to the bridge. They would have not been able to throw things away. That's not entirely true, but that could very well be like the logic they use. The snowmobile didn't have snow on it. I see footprints. Nothing there is gonna help. Time 10 to 11 p.m. I'm not sure I quite see the issue yet. After asking that be reported, you went out to the main gate. You saw tracks that indicated a snowmobile had been used. At around 11 o'clock. Less than 5 using one of those. It's probably got to do with this picture, right? But I'm not seeing. Well, the footprints end there, right? Hang on, my TV's a little messed up. Let me look at this on OBS so I can see the picture better. Yeah, the footprints stop. So that means that the snowmobile was driven after leaving the main gate. Oh no, that actually supports your claim. Wait, did they do it before or while you were knocked out, right? Well, no, because you said you went to the main gate. That would mean that the tracks would have already been there, meaning that you would have tracked footprints through it, because unless you stepped over the tracks. I mean, it's a sound enough argument. I guess I can give it a shot. No. Step 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back while it was knocked out. Do you want to call out the weather data? I don't think it would be useful to me at all. I mean, there's also the autopsy. It's like 10 to 11. She says she saw it at 11. The main gate to Dusky Bridge. Try the weather data. No. I may have to do some more presses because I'm not remembering all the information you gave me, apparently. Alright, let me go and press her again, and I guess I'll cut ahead to whenever the Eureka moment strikes. However long that may take. Oh, no, I think I get it. Iris couldn't have done that, because that would have required her to drive near Heavenly Haven. Maybe not that, but she didn't want to go near there, right? Because of the blackmail letter? How would I prove that? Like 10 o'clock. Well, maybe I'm not on the right track then. Edgeworth does seem convinced, because there's that one where I had like the multiple choices on do I press further or not. And when I press no, it's like, I'm sure Iris used the snowmobile, but for what? So I'm looking for what she could have used the snowmobile for. And I honestly, I don't know. I mean, it was near 11. Lightning approximately 10 to 11. I could try it? No, I'm going to game over. Well, I thought that I had some ideas, but they all seem to be wrong. So I guess I'll cut ahead further into the future. I'm a little thrown off by this picture because there's no snow or anything. She said that there's like no snow on the snowmobile. Well, no. Maybe I'm off base. Oh, no, I'm off base because, yeah, the snow would have been taken care of after. Because she said it was around 11. Okay, I don't know. I've been at this... I don't know. I'm 52 minutes into recording the episode. So, you try and figure out how long it's been. And I've been here since, like, what, 30-something minutes into the recording? And I'm not understanding it. Like, at all? I've exhausted every possibility I could think of. It's like... I've been looking at this weather report. It stopped snowing at 10:50, like, right around the time that she supposedly saw the murder. So if her time is right, then... like... Because this doesn't have snow on it. That's the wrong picture. So that checks out. I don't know. Alright, so now she could drive a snowmobile after all. And I highly doubt there's anything in here that... Oh, wrong button. Oh, wait, what? I admit this photograph proves something. It proves the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. Yes, we can see that. Okay, I meant to open the picture, but I pressed X on accident. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. Hey, I agreed with you that it was used. I just didn't know what I needed to look for. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of Oh! Oh, you're right. That is true, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I should have known. I should have picked up on that. You're right, but to be fair, it's 4 in the morning and I'm very tired. Oh, who am I kidding? I probably wouldn't have picked that up even if I weren't tired. What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be 2 sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah, you're right! You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. Is the tracks leading to the bridge by the, were erased by the snowfall? Shadowfall. Is this removes your precious contradiction, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. I've been looking at that weather report the whole time. I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. Hey, I originally thought that too. I mean, I thought something along those lines. Obviously, I didn't think that exact thing because I didn't realize the fact that there was only one track. But I was talking about how the snow should have covered the footprints, right? Or something like that earlier. I don't know. It's been, like I said, 20 minutes since I had that cut. So I don't remember what theories I was having earlier. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks? It's a contradiction. The tracks in the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain? The values are a route indexing and are currently pointing in my general direction. No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Weather report. Take that! Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. Oh no, it was like there was no snow on the snowmobile, not snow covering the tracks. Is it the weather? It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crimes at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Order! Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Oh, you're hilarious. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is the weather report ever correct? I mean, you raise almost a good point. No, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast, this is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. Can you prove it, Von Karma? Can you prove it? I'm throwing this question back onto the prosecutor. Can you prove it was snowing? Because I've got proof. I've got my evidence here that it stopped. It is up to you to prove to me that it's wrong. It's true, we cannot be totally sure, huh? What? How'd you pull that off? But it stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. Why has it come to me? I provided evidence that it stopped snowing. I've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubts to remain concerning this testimony. Ha! You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where's your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? I mean, dog. Just look at this photo. Do you see snow? Or when the victim was killed. She's not covered in snow. Is that what we're going with? Is that she's not covered in snow? Take that! Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If you want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Why am I mixing my accents? This photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Denim. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph, there should be two sets of tracks. She followed the same path, obviously. Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. They zoomed all the way down to the bridge. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. Like now? The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So, she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that isn't possible. Order in the court. What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. Oh, do we need to, like, press Larry now? But then it still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. I know an idiot! Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out in that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind. Which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being? This individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Who is this idiot you're talking about? This moron. This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc de something's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, at least in it. Or student. Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell him all about the designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man. What exactly was it they saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Oh boy. That snowmobile really gave me trouble, huh? I'm interested to go back to this in editing and see how much time passed. I'm gonna be honest as well. I did say it was 4 a.m. Some of that, I think 20 minutes, I was, lost. Some of it I spent sort of fighting, falling asleep. Just gonna be honest. So, but yeah, I guess we will continue the trial next time. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, like or subscribe button down below. Don't forget to check out the main channel, and if you're streaming live on Twitch or sometimes I stream live, you can check out that link down in the description below. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will catch all of you in the next one. So, take care.